Alright, as promised, I'm back with a brand new battery now. Yeah, the sky's clouding up pretty bad, so I don't know if we're going to be getting some rain, which I got the bike tent up so they won't get wet. First time at night I think I've done this. A little sketchy because you can't see where the brakes are until the very fucking end. Because there's lights in the parking lot here. That's why I like riding in these fucking areas when it's quiet. Because I don't have to worry about anyone or anything further than my bike, my shit, and myself. You know, and I can talk how I want, say what I want. I mean, yeah, I gotta watch it with YouTube, but you know, yeah, like I said, I gotta watch it with YouTube, but you know, that's why I like being isolated. You know, and I followed, and not to bring up TikTok and throw it on YouTube, but I follow this guy on TikTok, and he says that if you start talking shit about somebody as soon as they walk the fuck out of a room or out of somewhere, you know, so like let's say I'm in a group with a bunch of my coworkers, or in a group of bunch of my coworkers. Yeah, it's me and a bunch of coworkers, and they all leave, or I leave, and they start talking shit about me. Or I leave and I start talking shit about them, which, yeah, I fucking wanna, you know, I mean, yeah, I fucking do talk shit about work and some of the people I work with, but getting crabby and I'm fucking getting drunk. I'm gonna kill the light for a minute. Still not yet, still, you know, so it's like, I don't know. So I'm not going to ride much longer because I want to go shower and sit by the fire a little bit tonight, so I'm kind of tempted to see what this light's gonna look like when I start riding in the fall when it gets dark early. First time hitting this at night. You know, so you know, I had to laugh at what Keegan said earlier. I went out for a ride and Dad's like, why don't you take my bike for a ride? He's like, no, I don't want to. I don't like how your bikes ride. You know, he's talking about my bike and Dad's bike. I said, you'll get used to it after you ride a fat tire enough. He's like, no. He's like, I don't like how wide you got to take turns. I said, it's not wrong. You know, you got a good point. But you get used to riding a fat tire for so fucking long, you get you comfortable taking turns wide. You can, you know, you just feel the fucking bike out. Like, I can make mine, you know, so if I jump on Dad's, like when Dad bought his, I think I had the green one yet. You know, my green fat tire, you know, so I was riding a 4-inch wide tire yet. And then Dad bought his bike. 926. So I'm gonna take one more hot lap through the tent sites. I'm not hitting that gravel trail. You know, so then Dad bought his, and I had to fucking close the night after he bought it. So he's like, noticed that the fucking headset was loose. And I said, Dad, that's an easy fix. He's like, is it? I'm like, yeah, I got, you know, the tools at home to fucking do this. He's like, what do you gotta do? I said, you just gotta loosen up your pinch bolts and then tighten down your you know, then you just gotta tighten down your compression bolt until you got some preload on your headset bearings. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, it's just almost like fucking, I told him. And I was like, okay. I asked him. I was like, okay. I asked him with, you know, with his Le Mans. I said, okay, with your Le Mans. He's like, yeah. I said, do you tighten it down all the way and you start crushing the fucking bearings? Or you start tightening until there's enough fucking tension in the, that you notice on the bearings. Then you back it off a little bit, put a cotter pin in it. He's like, you tightening, you know, start tightening it until you gotta, you know, start feeling enough fucking pressure on your bearings, and then you back it off. I said, headsets are the same way. And the guy that Dad bought his bike from was like, really? I'm like, yeah. And I told him, you know, and I wasn't being a dick, but I wasn't being a dick, but I told him, you start riding with a loose headset, you're gonna start doing damage to your frame, your bottom, your headset bearings, your fork, and, or no, this is how I said it. I said, if you don't start riding with a tight headset, or if you don't ride with one, Right, now, getting myself screwed up here. I told him, if you ride with a loose headset, any bike mechanic, bike shop owner, bicyclist that knows how to do some stuff on their bikes will agree. If you ride with a loose headset and you ride like that for a long time, you're going to start doing damage to your fork, your crown race, your headset races, your headset bearings, and you're going to start wearing shit out, prematurely. You're going to start wearing shit out early. And the guy that Dad bought the bike from is like, oh, really? I didn't know that. I said, yeah, you got to start riding. You got to ride with. I said you got to start riding with tight headsets, otherwise you're gonna get, shit's gonna go wrong, shit's gonna break, you're gonna get hurt, and you're not gonna be riding for the next 6 fucking months. Dad's like, is that so? I'm like, yeah. You ride it like that for a long time, shit's gonna fucking break, and you're gonna go fucking flying. You're not gonna know what the hell happened once you hit the ground. Then once you get back up and realize that your arm or your fucking shoulders broke. Once you realize that your arm or your fucking shoulders broke, you're gonna like, what the fuck caused it? Then you're gonna see your bike laying in 3 pieces. Your bar's gonna be over here, the frame's gonna be here, the fork's gonna be way off in La La Land. Then the guy that's like, well, that's good to know. I was trying to get a little more height out of my headset. I said, you're doing it the completely wrong way. You start adding headset spacers and make sure your headsets are tight.